Assalamu alaikum everyone. Myself Hasib Umar. I am the Quran teacher and I have been teaching the Quran for last couple of years. In this lecture, we are going to see what are the common mistakes that people do while reading the Surah Fatiha. I will read the each ayat and explain all those mistakes in detail. Let's start. First, I will read Tawuz and Tasmiyah and then we will read the ayat. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Now I will read the first ayat. الحمد لله رب العالمين. Now let's look at the first word. Alhamdu. Alhamdu. This is the right way of reading it. How people read it? Alhamdu. That's not the right way because we have to pay attention of this letter ha. It's a throat letter and we have to read it clearly, and we don't have to mix this sound with the similar letter that is ha. We don't have to mix it. Okay, we have to make sure that we are reading the letter ha properly. Alhamdu. Got it? Now, next word. Lillahi. Lillahi. So as we know, sometimes we have to read the word Allah with the heavy voice, and sometimes we have to read the word Allah with lighter voice. In this ayat, we have to read the word Allah with a lighter voice. So I will explain in a separate lecture when to read the word Allah with the heavy voice and when to read with a lighter voice, but not in this class. Now next ayat, Rabbil. Rabbil. So as we can see that this letter ba contains a shadda sign. It means we have to read the letter with a slight force and with a double sound. That is Rabbil, Rabbil, and not like Robbil, Robbil. That's a straight mistake. Okay. Now next word, Alameen. Alameen. In the last word, we have to focus on the letter Ain. What's the mistake that people do is they ignore the letter Ain. Instead of Ain, they mix the sound with letter Hamza and read the word as Alameen. Alameen. That is not the right way because we have to be careful while reading the letter Ain. Alameen. Okay. So the common mistakes of the first ayat is completed. Now look at the next ayat. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Now let's understand the first word. Ar-Rahmanir. In the first word, we have the letter Ra with a shadda sign and with a fatha sign on top of it. It means due to the fatha sign, we have to read the Ra with a heavy voice, and because of the shadda sign, we have to read the Ra with a slight force and with a double sound. What's the correct way? Ar-Rahmanir. Ar-Rahmanir. Okay? Now similarly, the second word contains the Ra in the start with a shadda sign and with a fatha sign. It means we have to read the Ra with a heavy voice, with a slight force, and with a double sound because of the shadda sign and the fatha sign. Okay. The correct way of reading the second word is Rahim. Nir-Rahim. Got it? Now, the third ayat. Let me read. Maliki Yawmiddin. Okay, now let's look at the first ayat. First word. Maliki. In the first word, there is nothing complex. So, let's look at the second word. Yawmid. Yawmid. This is also not a complex word. Third word. Middin. In the third word, we have this letter dal with a shadda sign on top of it and with a kasra sign below it. It means due to the shadda sign, we have to read the dal with a slight force and with a double sound. Yawmiddin. I hope this is clear now. Now let's look at the third ayat. Fourth ayat, I'm sorry. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. In the fourth ayat and the first word, we have the letter ya with a shadda sign and with a fatha sign on top of it. Because of the shadda sign, we have to read the ya with a slight force and with a double sound. How? Iyaka. Iyaka. Okay? Next word. Na'budu. Na'budu. In this word, we have to pay attention on the letter Ain, as people mixes the sound of letter Ain with letter Hamza. How people read unknowingly Na'budu. Instead of Ain, they read the letter Hamza. Na'budu. Na'budu. That is not the right way. The right way is to produce the correct sound of letter Ain and read the word properly. Na'budu. Na'budu. Okay? The third word. Wa iyyaka. Wa iyyaka. In the third word, we also have the ya with a shadda sign and with a fatha sign. It means because of the shadda sign, we have to read the ya with a slight force, as we already discussed, and with a double sound. How? Wa iyyaka. Okay? The last word. Nasta'in. Nasta'in. So in the ending word of the fourth ayat, we have to pay attention on letter Sin and letter Ain. So let's look at the letter Sin. So what's the common mistake that people do is they mixes the sound of letter Sin with letter Sa. That's not the right way. If anybody reads the ending word of the fourth ayat as nasta'in without producing a sharp sound for the letter sin, it means they are making a mistake. He or she is making a mistake. So we have to be careful and read the proper sound of letter sin. Nasta'in. And for the letter ain, we have to be careful that we are reading the letter ain and we are producing the right sound of letter ain and not mixing the sound of letter ain with letter hamza. Okay, what's the common mistake that people do? They read nasta'in without paying attention on letter ain. Okay, so we have to pay attention on letter sin and as well as letter ain. How? وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. So the whole ayat will become إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. Hopefully, I have explained clearly all the common mistakes that people do while reading Surah Fatiha. And in the next lecture, in the next class, we will see we will see the remaining ayahs of Surah Fatiha, and we will try to cover what are the common mistakes that people do in the remaining surah. So for now, we have covered half of the surah, and in the next class, we will cover the remaining half. Okay? So hopefully you have understand these mistakes and will improve your recitation. And that's it for today's class. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.